Abby Glassenberg from Craft Industry Alliance. Hope you're having a great day today. Today we're going to be doing our member spotlight, and we're going to be having Melissa Galbraith join us from M Creative J. So hopefully you've heard of Melissa before because her work is beautiful, but just in case you haven't, Melissa is an embroidery artist, and she makes really beautiful embroideries, some of which have some 3D and textural qualities. She designs and sells embroidery kits, and she exhibited last year at H&H Americas in our Newcomers Pavilion, which was great and an awesome opportunity to have a presence at the show. Melissa does a lot of shows though, so she's really doing a great job of promoting her business, which is called M Creative J, and she has a new book out. It's her first book, and it's all about embroidery. So I'm excited for her to be joining us shortly. Melissa, I hope you're out there and hope to see you in a minute. While we wait for Melissa to arrive, I thought I would just give you a little update on what's going on at Craft Industry Alliance. So we are kind of in H&H prep mode over here. We're leaving in, I would say a week and a half. We're leaving to go to Chicago for the show. So I just ordered all of the print materials for our booth, and I'm picking them up at our printer here locally in the Boston area tomorrow morning. Let's see, we've got business cards in huge stacks, stickers. We just ordered stickers from Sticker Giant using our member discount. We actually saved $54, which was kind of nice. We have a member discount with Sticker Giant. So if you're a member and you're ordering some stickers, definitely give it a go because it was pretty good savings. So we will have 3 really cute and unique stickers available. I'm not going to show them to you yet because they are a surprise because they're kind of fun. And we also have a gift available at our booth. These have already shipped and arrived in Chicago, but if you are a Craft Industry Alliance member, definitely come by our booth because we have something for you. And we'll be having a show special as well. So if you were considering joining and wanted to learn more about the organization, also come by our booth. We'll have members working in our booth in shifts throughout the entire show, so lots of people to talk to and learn more about the organization, and you'll get a show special for your first membership payment, which is a pretty significant discount. It's the most significant discount that we offer all year. So definitely consider joining while you're at the show. And so that's what's going on here. We're kind of in show prep, but for our members who are either going or not going to the show, tomorrow we actually have an incredible special event as well that's virtual. So every single month we offer a webinar for all of our members, and it's taught by an industry expert. Sometimes we do a panel discussion, sometimes we have a single person presenting. Tomorrow it's going to be presented by Leanne Presley from Stitchcraft Marketing. They are a marketing firm that specializes in working with craft businesses, specifically in fiber. And this webinar is going to focus on something we've not done a webinar about in all of our 7+ years of being in existence. It's all about launch strategies. I'm really excited about this. So if you are like me and you always admire those makers who create something and then it sells out immediately, like they drop 20 new necklaces or whatever it might be, and you can't buy them fast enough. They're all gone. She's going to be talking about how to make that happen for you, which I always find to be so remarkable and awesome, but also a little bit mysterious. And Leanne's got a bunch of different techniques and strategies that you can put into place. No promises that it'll be that kind of instantaneous, mad rush, but it will certainly help to increase anticipation among your sort of buyers who are ready to take the plunge. And I'm very excited about that. So if that sounds good to you, please join us tomorrow. We will be doing our webinar on Zoom as we always do at 1:00 p.m. Eastern, which is 10 o'clock on the West Coast. It is recorded. It's always nice to ask questions live though. So if you can make it at that time, that's awesome. And if not, then we will send out the link to the recording as well as some follow-up information from Leanne over at Stitchcraft, and you can watch it on your own time. We have a pretty extensive webinar library at this moment, so we've just reorganized it by topic rather than being organized chronologically, which is how it was organized in the beginning. but sort of didn't have any rhyme or reason to it. So now if you go to our webinars page and you're logged in, you'll be able to sort all of the webinars by topic. So if you're interested in a legal topic and you hit legal, it'll take you to the part of the page where all of our legal webinars are located. And for each topic now, we have probably 5 or 6 different expert trainings that you can take part in. So it's kind of great. And, you know, providing that ongoing education is something that Craft Industry Alliance is really dedicated to, something that I'm personally dedicated to as a former teacher myself. I love to find really great instructors to be able to share expertise with our members. And something that really all businesses can benefit from. So we have people who attend those webinars who are on the marketing team at really, really big companies with hundreds of employees. And then we have people who attend those webinars that are a one-person shop, maybe making things in a spare bedroom and selling them on Etsy. So we try to create trainings for our members that really are applicable across the board. And also different craft sectors. So whether you're working in quilting or cross stitch or ceramics, again, a launch strategies webinar is applicable to everyone. And the other thing we try to do is really get the best people to present. So that's something that I spend a lot of time looking and watching YouTube videos, reading, and really finding the very best voices. We pay everybody who works with us, and that helps us to secure really great presenters, and so you know that's really important to me, and it's something that we do for H&H. Actually, that's our main role at H&H Americas, is creating the educational content, which is definitely in our wheelhouse, something we've been doing here for well, since 2015 when we launched, is securing like the best teachers to teach on these various topics. And so we work with a committee for H&H, so we're not just doing it alone. We have incredible committee members, and we meet throughout the fall into the early winter together and identify all the topics that we feel are the most relevant right now. So, you know, like last year, we kind of felt like, you know, NFTs were really relevant, and then this year we're like, absolutely not. Like, so, you know, things change, but we try to brainstorm those topics, and then we make a big list, then we try to identify the best teachers for each topic, and then I go through and actually reach out to everybody, see who's available, and secure all of those teachers. And we do the same thing with panel discussions. We've got some amazing panel discussions coming up at H&H. One's on product development, which I'm very excited about. One's on working with influencers. One is on the ways that online content creators, like online teachers, virtual teachers, can collaborate with shop owners. Hey, oh, I see Melissa's here. Hey, Melissa, if you just request to join, I'll let you in. So yeah, we plan all those panels. Show, if you are coming, definitely come by our booth and say hi. I would love to meet you in person. And if you're not coming, no fear. The State of the Industry panel and keynotes are recorded. Hey, how are you, Melissa?
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
You as well.
Yeah, I see all your kits behind you. It looks like a big warehouse.
Yes, it's called my kit closet. It's where I store everything.
Oh, that's amazing. I could see you though, like in a few years, you're going to move out and get some sort of big space, because your kit closet is impressive as it is right now.
Thank you. Yeah, we bought our house about 3 years ago with the intention of like actually finally getting a room for all of my stuff. And I've already outgrown it. I have things in the garage, in the like guest bedroom, everywhere. They're just overflowing.
That's awesome. So, okay, let's back up and talk about how we got to this point. So tell us a little bit about Creative J and kind of the history behind your company. What made you decide to want to do this? Kind of what led up to the decision and how you got started?
Yeah, so Creative J is a nature-inspired hand embroidery kit and pattern business. And I kind of got into it because as a kid, my mom had us doing all sorts of crafts. Me and my sisters, we did everything from like embroidery to quilting to paper mache to bobbin lace. Like we did it all. And I have such wonderful, fond memories of it. I will say I was not like the best embroiderer as a kid and did not have the patience for it. But as an adult, I used to have a day job in social media and digital communications where I was behind a computer all day and made nothing that was actually like physical or really working with my hands. And so when I finally moved out to Seattle, I was like, you know, I really want to do something crafty. I finally figured out like what I'm doing for work, and had like enough time where I wanted to do something else. And I ended up getting back into embroidery because it was small, it was portable, it didn't take up a ton of space at the time, even though I clearly have a lot of it now. And it just really blossomed from there. It was something I really fell in love with. I love to think of embroidery as kind of like coloring with thread. And so I started making a bunch of like finished embroidery pieces as artwork to sell. And I found pretty quickly that I don't actually love selling my own artwork. It's very different because when you make art, it's very personal. And I think as a soft craft, embroidery is also harder to sell for the amount of money it's really worth. And so I ended up actually switching over to kits and patterns and doing a lot of teaching, because one of the questions I always got when I was at like a craft fair or something was like, oh, I really want to learn this, or how do you do this? Or like, I used to know how to do this and I'd love to get back into it, and things like that. And I really found that that's where my strength and wheelhouse is. Like, I actually love sharing how to create embroidery, how to do different stitches, how to, like, you know, embellish your clothes or make something really fun and beautiful. And seeing that aha moment for people is just really exciting and what brings me a lot of joy. And since then, I've just really made like tons of kits, as you can see. And I teach quite a few workshops every year.
So tell us a little bit about the kits themselves. My guess is that there's been a process regarding things like sourcing, designing the packaging, figuring out like if you wholesale, which I know you do, what retailers need as far as, you know, being able to put something on the shelf and have customers pick it up and put it back down and it not get shop worn, and that they're still able to know what's inside without taking everything out and all of that. So I'm sure there's been a long kind of evolution here where you finally have like landed on something that's really working, but I'd love to hear a little bit about the kits themselves.
Yeah, so here, let me grab one. So this is my embroidered earring kit. And I will say kits did not start out in boxes. They actually started out in those like clear plastic bags, which had like instructions and you could see the materials in the back, but I didn't love how it looked. So then I went to like cardboard envelopes which had information in the front, but then people really wanted to like see what was in it and learn more about it. And I had a lot of people wanting to open it up. So then after kind of like starting to foray into wholesale, I was working with a, what was it? Kind of like a wholesale mentor at the time, and they recommended switching over to boxes because they're more giftable, they can stand up easier, you can stack them. And at the time, like, I wasn't like super committed to the packaging I had, so I kind of looked into it and the pricing was about the same. And it gave me a chance to really rebrand and do a lot of different things with my packaging. So I said, yeah, sure, why don't we give that a try? And with that, I was really able to kind of add a lot more pieces to the packaging to make it so that buyers could understand more about what was in the kit. So on the front, I put like the title and then like a good photo of what your finished product will look like. And then some of them have like little, I guess, like disclaimers right here to be like, hey, you are going to get like all 3 of these designs and 3 sets of earrings. So it's not like you're making one. And then right down in the middle here, you can't see that very well, but it has like all of the materials inside the kit. So you can read exactly what's inside your kit there. And then on the back, it has some information about like me and the maker behind the kit and things like that. And so from there, I tried to make it really easy where you like pick it up off the shelf and you can easily just kind of like flip your box over and read all about what's in the kit and what's in there. And for this, I decided to use paper because I wanted it to all like be like easily recyclable and pull it apart really easy. And with this, it was just more economical as well too. So that way, putting on the packaging, it's like you can reuse the box, you can recycle it all when you're done, and it just makes it so much easier with that. So
That's great. I think that's so interesting. And, you know, for those of us who are like, oh, maybe I want to start designing kits, like, you know, it can feel so overwhelming to figure all of that out. And I think it's comforting even to know that like you didn't have it all figured out when you started.
Oh,
and, you know, you've gone through evolution, you've listened to feedback, you've sort of tried different things and landed where you are. And, you know, it may be in 10 years, 5 years, it might even still now look different. So I think it's good to know that like you don't have to have it perfectly figured out on day one, and you can still have a really good business and you can change as you go.
Yes. Yeah. And another thing I found that was really helpful that I just remembered I have over here is this shadow box that I put together that has like all the stuff that would come inside one of the kits here. So,
oh, wow.
And I actually put this together for my last trade show, which worked out really well because not everybody will read what's on your packaging. I will say that too. So this way it was like a good visual representation for them to easily
so
say,
smart.
I totally get that. And then they can
Yeah.
see the quality of the materials too. So they know they're going to get full skeins of thread, like a really nice hoop and all that good stuff in there. So this was also very helpful.
That's a great tip. So smart. So are you selling both directly to consumers on your website as well as wholesale?
Yes. Yeah, I do both.
Okay. And so do you know approximately how many stores you're in at this point? Do you have a rough number?
I think it's around 200.
That's amazing, Melissa. That's so cool. So what have been some successful wholesale channels for you, like to get into 200 stores? Because again, like that can seem like really desirable, but also really overwhelming. Like, how do you figure out who might be interested and get in touch with them and keep track of what they have and all of that stuff?
Yeah, so I found that, well, I use a lot of like wholesale channels, like websites. So Fair is one of the really big ones. It's kind of like the Etsy of wholesale, which is a great marketplace for buyers to find you. But I've also found that doing my own research is really helpful. So kind of like pick whatever like niche for me. It's kind of like I can fall in between like crafts and gifts and like fabric stores and kind of all of those. So I kind of go through and just like, you know, pick a state and start kind of like looking through different craft stores or like fabric stores or gift stores in that area and seeing like, hey, would this be a good fit? This year I actually hired a virtual assistant who kind of helps me do some of that. So she will kind of just start going through, like I said, and I gave her some criteria of what I'm looking for and then helping kind of vet like, would this be a good fit? Would it not be a good fit? And then doing just some outreach. So like a general email that says like, hey, we really love your items. We think like this will be a really great fit in your store. Here's some more information. Let us know if we can talk to you more about this. You can also find us on Fair and things like that. And then this year I've really started, well, I guess like the last 2 years, started doing more like trade shows and things like that too, which I will say are a much bigger commitment and very expensive. So like if you can do the outreach on your own and you don't need a show, I would say definitely go that route. But shows can be very helpful because you get to like talk with shops and buyers in person. You get a big setup and have like a display and everything like that. And some of them will actually give you like email list or buyer list and things like that. So if you utilize those really well, then they've been super effective for me. Like before shows, I'll send out a couple emails being like, hey, I'm going to be here. This is where you can find me. Here's my line sheet. Like this is the booth I'm going to be in. And it was really funny. I did the show Creativation in April earlier this year, and I sent out a couple emails before, nothing, crickets, nobody replied back. I got to the show, and I had so many people come to my booth say like, hey, I got your email. It was so great to read this. I'm so glad you sent this out. And I was like, oh, okay, so this email actually did work. It was just nobody had the time to reply, but they still put it on their list to stop by and say hi. And I got quite a few orders that way as well, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all about that sort of outreach before you go, and then having a good presentation while you're there, and then all the follow-up afterward, too. So that kind of stuff, that persistence is really, really important. So, but the main thing I wanted to talk to you today about is, of course, your new book. So you've written a book. It's an embroidery book. It's your first book. It's super exciting. It's available now, and people can go and order it from their local bookstore, from bookshop.org, from Amazon, wherever they prefer. So show us the book. Tell us a little bit about it and what you can find inside of it.
Yeah, so my book is How to Embroider Texture and Pattern, and it covers 20 different landscape designs and 30 plus embroidery stitches. So let me pull up the front here. You can see at the very beginning, you'll see all these great different landscape designs you can do. And I tried to do a wide variety, so you're going to get some like deserts, some mountains, some waterways. There's a little bit of like the Midwest in there, some tropics, all that fun stuff in there. And then the book will walk you through so like materials, getting started, making knots and things like that. And then it has really good step-by-step photos for all the different stitches that are in here at the very beginning. And then after that, it kind of walks you through the patterns here. So you'll see like a great photo of it, your diagram that talks about like the colors, the materials, and then it walks you through step by step how to do that. So you'll see the pattern come together with the different stitches and how it will look as you kind of work your way through that pattern there. And the book is designed so that the beginning landscapes are a little more beginner friendly, and then you work up to much more advanced stitches and different techniques and things like that. So let me see later on here. This one is one of my favorites. This is like the mushroom design, and this kind of like gray color right here is tulle that you layer on top and stick on top to create some fun different effects that way. And then there's also just some really fun different 3D stitches in here too. So you can see like this flower field right here has some really cool 3D stitches that will pop off the fabric. And you'll just create a lot of really beautiful different textures and designs within here. So it's a fun like way to explore different landscapes, but also just really learn a bunch of different embroidery stitches and techniques as well too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just display them right in the hoop. Like they're almost like pre-framed. So you can, put a little piece of felt in the back or whatever, do a little running stitch, close it up, and then you can just hang it right on your wall in a nail.
Yes. Yeah. The book will actually walk you through how to finish it in the hoop if you want to. And then in the back, there are all of the patterns for the designs. And they are printed at like a smaller scale, but there is like a link that you can go online and get them larger and print them if you want that way. And it also tells you like at what scale to like reprint them, so you can resize them and make them really whatever you want with them too.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. So tell us who your publisher is.
Fox Chapel Publishing.
Nice. Absolutely. That's great. So this is awesome. I mean, I think we can see like you've really built a beautiful business here. Having a book is a great sort of piece to bring with you when you go teach as well, because you can teach from the book, you can sell the book, you can sell kits to the students. It sort of supplements and brings it all full circle. So I think it's just super smart. Was it an interesting experience for you? Was it a good learning experience for you working with the Fox Chapel team and sort of understanding how a book like this comes together?
Yeah, I mean, I will say so. When I was kind of deciding I wanted to write a book, I didn't actually get an agent, and so I had to do a lot of the legwork on my own with like pitching. And I think actually pitching and getting an agent to say yes took about as much time as it did to write the book itself. But the Fox Chapel group was really wonderful. The publisher I worked with, they were super helpful and supportive, and kind of like I submitted what I had in mind. We went back and forth and made some adjustments. And then they really just gave me free rein to do whatever I wanted with my book. And I had some deadlines along submit things for them to look over and review, but they never really had a ton of like edits or anything. It was just really, they were happy with how everything was looking and really believed in the idea I had for my book. So it was really a wonderful experience.
That's great. Absolutely. So good. So you will be at H&H. You're actually doing a demo in our booth, which we're super grateful for. So thank you for that. And then do you have your own booth at the show as well this year?
I do. I'll be in booth 1025, which is right across from the Indian Tangled Pavilion.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sharing with another artist, Woolerton Estates, who does some really beautiful yarn as well, too.
Oh, perfect. I love that. I love sharing booth. I think that's great. And you were in the Indian Tangled Newcomers Pavilion in year one. So now you've like graduated to just sharing a booth. That's awesome. And I think is exactly what that pavilion is intended for. So that's super cool. We're very grateful to have you as a Craft Industry Alliance member. You were on our roundtable yesterday, which was amazing. And we're just like, super excited to see you at the show and about your new book as well. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This is great. All right. So tell us the name of the book one more time and where we can get the kits, etc.
Yeah. So my book is How to Embroider Texture and Pattern. You can find it along with the kits on my website, mcreativej.com. And you can also find my book on Amazon, at your favorite local bookstore. A lot of libraries carry it as well too. So wherever you find your favorite books, you'll probably find my book as well too.
Fabulous. Thank you so much to everybody who came today, and thank you to you, Melissa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody. See you later.